Okay, so I'm back. Hello, my name is Samuel. And as I said in the reboot channel trailer thing, I am going to be talking about books now. The book in question, this book, Magyk by Angie Sage, part of the Septimus Heap series. Before I get into the book club bit, I'll tell you a little bit about this book. Basically, it is a young adult fantasy series like Harry Potter. And when I say like, there have been many criticisms against Ms. Sage and her creation, basically saying it's a rip-off of Harry Potter. It isn't. Well, not really. There are some common elements, and I will discuss them as they come up. But generally, these are the commonalities which you'll get in any story about a young boy who's a wizard. And as well as that, and of course, in the climate of the early 2000s, when this book was first published, I'll check specifically when it was first published. If I can find the publishing information. Here we are. Yeah. First published in 2005. So yeah, it's around the time, like the height of the Harry Potter hype. So yeah, as similarities arise, I will discuss them. However, this is a very different story. It's a very different series of 7 books about very different characters. Frankly, in many ways, it's better written than Harry Potter. But that's not saying much. Also, another plus, the author, Angie Sage, isn't a TERF. I know, flabbergasting. Also, for those wondering, and those who didn't see the channel trailer, the format for these videos is going to be sort of like Kevin Lohman. Don't know if you know him. He used to do a Harry Potter book club. Stopped because, you know, J.K. Rowling's a dick. But basically it's going to be following the same sort of format, a chapter per episode. And today we're going to be doing chapter 1. Something in the Snow. For those who want to follow along, I suggest pausing the video and reading the chapter. It's a short chapter. There's some stuff to unpack. In the meantime, in a minute we'll get into that. I'll disappear. There'll be a sort of splash screen. Okay, is this on? Yes, it's on. Right, so, welcome to Book Club. This is my discussion of Chapter 1, Something in the Snow, of the Septimus Heap series, book Magyk. So, a bit of outline of the chapter's plot first. Basically, we meet Silas Heap, who is a mediocre at best wizard. Ordinary wizard is his exact title. He is walking through the forest with some herbs from a physic woman, Galen, for his wife who's just given birth. Now, why Galen couldn't just make a house call is never explained. I don't know, maybe she was healing a hedgehog or something. But Silas was sent to go fetch, which is par for the course. But anyway, as he's walking back on a freezing day, like midwinter's day, he magically hears a heartbeat and discovers a baby abandoned in the snow. I mean, from that context alone, and obviously this plot develops as the book and series goes on, that's kind of dark. Like a kid abandoned in the snow on midwinter's day. I mean, hypothermia is a possibility there, as are a lot of other things. As we also see in this chapter, the Wolverine problem. Why it's Wolverines is a bit weird, considering this is set in, well, basically Cornwall, England. They don't really have many Wolverines in Cornwall, England. It could be wolves, at least that would sort of fit in with the pseudo-medieval setting, even though there aren't wolves in Great Britain anymore. well, outside of zoos, and maybe a few conservation, but they're not widespread anyway. Also, witches, which apparently kidnap people, which is also kind of dark now I think of it. But anyway, a baby discovered in the snow, abandoned. Silas, even though he's poor, picks it up because, you know, it's a baby abandoned in the snow, and he's not the bad guy. So he picks up the baby. Maybe he looks around, see if there's anyone who might have dropped one. Apparently no one's there. And then he takes it with him. Takes it home to his wife. And he has to cross the gates, get a house on the way. Pays this unpleasant man named Gringe, who's a bit judgmental. Although we find out later on in the series he's okay-ish. And he bumps into Marcia, who's apparently his boss now. So, bit of a weird day for him. Extraordinary wizard, basically. Extraordinary. As in, she's a bit extra. As you might have been able to tell by the, purple mist and purple outfit. And the fact she gave him a dramatic warning saying, "Tell nobody you found her. She was born to you. Understand?" So, I don't know why I made her sound evil. I think it might just be the audiobook version which I've listened to. Yeah, to tell the truth, for most of these videos I will have listened to the audiobook version more recently, because it's just easier to fit around everyday life. So yeah. Marcia's being cryptic as fuck. And Silas just, goes home to his wife, which generally is what you might expect. Keeping the baby hidden, because he has the idea that there's probably a reason why she was abandoned. I don't know, maybe she's infectious or something, or maybe someone doesn't like babies. And basically he comes home, and his newborn son is fucking dead. His newborn son, Septimus, the kid the book series is named after. Yeah. That's fucking dark, man. And yes, I know the situation develops a bit as the series goes on. But those in the comments, please don't spoil that, because some people listening to this might be new. I say listening because I'm fairly sure no one is actually watching. And yeah, so the kid's dead. But don't worry, Silas has got a replacement. And, I mean, convenient to be honest. It means that baby is not fighting, means that no extra strain is put on the family. And Sarah can go easy on the feeding. Oh, although, yeah, her kid's dead. Carried away by the matron midwife. So yeah, there you have it, the first chapter. Fairly simple, but then again, it's the first chapter of a book meant for younger audiences. I mean, the series sort of grows with the reader, so later books are a little bit more nuanced than this one. But here we are. So a little bit on the setting, I suppose. The castle is basically, a castle. It is a keep. It is a town within castle walls. There's not much to understand there, is there? Anything else of interest? Well, I guess the forest. All these places have are proper nouns. Like, these are what the places are called. Apparently people in this time are very unimaginative. Or maybe it's because Angie Sage was pulling from the sort of fairy tale aspect of it. I mean, the country we later find out all this takes place in, which is based on Britain, mostly Cornwall, is called the small wet country across the sea, which is almost an insultingly accurate way of describing Britain now I think of it. But anyway, that's the first chapter. Of course, as I said before, lots of people have drawn parallels between this book series and Harry Potter. Both were, this was written in 2005 when Harry Potter mania was at its height. And yeah, there are some parallels, but most of them are what you'd probably expect from any series about a young boy wizard, or even just a young boy in even just a young kid in a fantasy setting. Like, I mean, you could draw parallels between Septimus Heap and Harry Potter. You could also draw parallels between Septimus Heap and the Spooks books, all written around the same time and all have some similar themes. I mean, as we find out later, boggarts appear in all of them. 2 of them, Seventh Sons of Seventh Sons, are important. And yeah, maybe there are more Harry Potter parallels than I'm willing to admit, because I'm sort of a shill for this series. That's exaggeration. I'm not actually being paid by Angie Sage. Although, I mean, money's money, so if you want to, give me a call, Miss Sage. I mean, one of the main criticisms is the fact that the Heaps are basically the Weasleys. But aside from the fact that they're a big, rich family, which is not something, as far as I'm aware, that Miss Rowling has a patent on, the similarities sort of end there. And to my knowledge, Weasleys never took in an orphan. Well, not directly, they sort of adopt Harry. And one of their kids isn't dead. Well, I mean, by the end, one is. But, like, one of their kids isn't dead almost the minute they were born. So, yeah, there are, there are things there. Of course, we learn more about the Heaps as the thing goes on. And, yes, there are more parallels which come up. But I'll talk to them as they happen. So anyway, that's Chapter 1. Something in the Snow of Magic by Angie Sage. If you liked this video, please press the like button. If you really liked it, please subscribe. Next episode, we will be talking about Chapter 2, which is Silas and Sarah, which talks about Silas and Sarah. So yeah, you've got that to look forward to. And if you're following along, read that chapter, please. If not, then I don't know, do something. Go out for lunch. Go for a nice walk in the countryside. Tell the girl you like that you like her. I don't know, do what the heck you like, I'm not your boss. Anyway, so yeah. Sayonara for now, and see you soon. Bye. Recording's not stopping.